Brother Billingsley.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think we lost a little bit of your video.
Okay, I'm about to come right back on. I'm about to share this.
Good afternoon. This is Harry Colbert Jr., Managing Editor of Insight News, and we are live on the Facebook page, and I am also going to be sharing it to my personal page, the Harry Colbert Jr. page. But we are live right now on the Insight News Facebook page, and we are talking to musician, keyboard player, arranger, composer, and educator David Billingsley. Brother Billingsley, how are you?
I'm doing good, Harry. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, thank you, as well as can be expected in these changing times. That'll be the word that I use, changing times.
Yeah.
For a musician, how is it being adjusting right now? Because right now, obviously, venues are closed. You're not gigging regularly. You're not on tour and things of that nature. How is it being a musician in this time of COVID-19?
Great question. It's hard to be a musician right now because incomes have basically been shut off without any prior warning or anything like that. Some musicians and artists, period, are struggling, man. Some don't know how to deal with it. If they've been going a lot for a long time now, things have stopped and you have to your identity is stripped from you a little bit, your career, your jobs, and then you have to, kind of rely on yourself. And sometimes the mental health of some of us, isn't the greatest. And so some tragic things have been happening to some of the community and some of the people that, that we know and love. And it's been a struggle. Mental health right now is very critical and important. And I'm just making sure that we talk to each other. You know what I mean? We get help when we need to. I talk to a therapist over the phone now. And, so it's not easy, but it's possible with the right people in your life and the right setups. So more than anything, it's really hard right now, but I think it's possible to make it through with the help of friends, and thinking differently in this time. It's like, okay, we made music for people. How can we do that now when we can't get in front of the people anymore, And so it's been an interesting time. It's been very interesting, hard for artists, and they're trying to scrape by and figure out ways to make it work. Most artists are living check to check, or we don't make that much money. So it's hard, man.
Yeah, and it's deep what you said. You said sometimes your identity in some ways is stripped from you because this is so much a part of you as who you are as individuals. And
yeah. Exactly. It's like taking LeBron's basketball away from him and saying he can never play basketball again, or that kind of thing. It's that same kind of effect for us. Luckily, I took 2 years off once in my life. And when I did that, I realized I was almost like a crisis. Like, oh my God, this is who I am, but that's not who I am. That's a piece of who I am, but I'm actually even more than my music. You know what I mean? And I had to learn that, and that's not an easy lesson. But yeah, so I hear you, man, and so I'm just praying for everybody. We're trying to cash app artists, help them when we can. Find work for each other. That's been the cool thing about it, though, man. Everyone's going virtual. As you can see, they're breaking the internet with Instagram Live. We just saw Babyface and Teddy Riley going at it, and so that we're finding other ways to make art and to engage people, because at the end of the day, it's not about the money, but it's all about giving people experiences and exposure and opportunities in the arts and to express themselves and all of that. And so now it's just finding new ways to do that. And we have to be creative in this economy because it looks like we might be here for a while,
Yeah.
And so what can we do for the next year or two to continue to be a musician and to make it happen, but just differently, And so I think the technologies are going to change. Entrepreneurship is going to shift, and world 1.0 is over. That's how I feel. That world is done, and we are now on the brink and verge of a new world order, and new 2.0 to me it has to change, and it's gonna look different once we come back from this. Even how we can be in public, how many people are allowed in venues, and all of that kind of stuff. Everything's gonna be looked at, and it's gonna be interesting. So we're here. and ain't nothing we can do about it. God is in control. So what can we do in the meantime? How can we, make something happen and where we are, where we're planning?
And so what you're expressing is kind of because when we think of musicians and things of that nature, obviously our brains gravitate towards the Jay-Z, the Beyoncés, the whomever, the large scale players.
Yeah.
And so when this happens, their money's already in the bank. They're already good.
Exactly.
But the average touring musician, the average musician who's playing locally, they don't have that same level of comfort. So it's got to be a certain other anxiety that goes along with it. And then they also don't have for instance, you have a D-Nice and Babyface and them who can go live and generate X hundreds of thousands of views, but then you have artists who are have a local fan base, and it's like there's not necessarily that same avenue for them.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what we're dealing with. And like you said, the artists who are thriving and still doing well, and those of us who are kind of the help and the assistance to the artists, we now have to scramble a little bit, and maybe that's building audience, maybe that's it looks different for different people. And so for me, the way I did it, I'm just thinking about everything, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, whoa, okay, so there's no more work in what I do. And so how can we now still affect change and help people in this time and in this pandemic, and also potentially make some kind of money, so that we can continue to feed our families and survive and make it happen. So that's just kind of been my thought process and what I've been thinking of. So I started, it's called the Twin Cities Musician Collective. It's like 450 members on there of artists, musicians, creatives. And we just talk, we share resources. This is how you get, your LLC. This is how, this is how this works. Questions are asked. This is how you do the technology piece. This is how you stream. Here's all the free stuff right now for producers and musicians and all of that. So man, that's just what I've kind of tried to turn into as a resource for and a light for our community right now. And when I see people struggling, try to, cash app them, help them out if I can, or send them to a resource of a place that we know. So that's kind of how we've been getting it together, man. Hopefully we'll all get on a big Zoom one day pretty soon and just all start to talk and share. Because we need that right now, more than anything. And so that's kind of one thing I'm thinking about next. But yeah, man. So now it's a chance to do it differently, but we have to be creative, and it can't be like I said, it's 2.0 now. This is a whole different world. So we have to do things way different. And those who are gonna, win in this season or who are gonna make it through are gonna have to think differently and just be flexible right now, and patient, and able to live off a little and make it stretch.
Yeah, and the beauty about musicians and artists is you are creative by virtue of your profession and the way you live anyway. So I'm sure that you all are going to be some of the first to come up with the transformative technology or way to reach out to the people. Before we continue, I want to backtrack because Insight News certainly has a Twin Cities audience, but we also have an audience that reaches beyond our state borders. And so they see David Billingsley, but your credits haven't been given. So allow me to do that.
Okay.
David Billingsley is a keyboard player. He is the founder of Basoma, which is a music school here in the Twin Cities. And he is the keyboard player for MPLS, one of the top bands here in the Twin Cities. And when he's not gigging with his own band, he is the tour keyboard player for Stokley Williams of Mint Condition, or formerly of Mint Condition, who now has the #1 R&B song in the nation, like straight up higher than Chris Brown, higher than Usher. He got the #1 spot with She, which is a beautiful, beautiful ballad. Talk about being able to know that you have some part in that.
Yeah, it feels good, man. We just got off a Zoom call like this. You there, Harry?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah, we just got off a Zoom call like this. just the other day, man, and we were just talking about it and, celebrating with Stoke and talking about just everything we're doing as a band. And man, it feels really good. It's what you live for as an artist, to be successful at what you do, and for not only for it to resonate with you, but it to resonate with audiences of, in the public and masses of people, and so man, it feels good. We've been working hard, and we've been there since day one. I'll never forget the day Stokley called me. I was on a mountain in Arizona with my kids on a vacation, and he's like, yo, you want to play for me? I'm like, what? Yes. Like and he was like, I was like, I got an audition. He was like, no, you in, just because of how good you are already. I'm like, what? I ain't got an audition or nothing. Man, it was a blessing, man. And
you got street cred. You
man,
talk on there.
And that's what I realized. Stokes been watching, man, and every for any musician out there, every opportunity you have is an audition. Somebody's watching you, somebody's attention, and so just try to do your best work, And so it's been great though, man. Like we've seen it from the ground up, man. We spent weeks and months like just working on the show and constantly hitting it hard, and it was like, wow, we're practicing so much, but now looking at it, man, it paid off. We can go into any arena and like smash. We can go anywhere we're at, and it sounds like one band, one sound every time, even if we've been away from each other for a while. So
in the Minneapolis sound lineage, I'm trying to think of which grandchild you all are, because MPLS is not an offspring of, but certainly affiliated with the mint condition line, because Brandon Commodore, your bandmate in MPLS, was the core drummer for mint condition for many years before you all became the backing band for Stoke, and then there's the tree that leads up to Jam and Lewis, which leads to Prince. So what are you all? You all like the great grandchildren of Prince?
We are, man. We are. Prince called us into Paisley Park for a 45-minute private audition, man. Him and Judith Hill. He out on his heels, walked up to his couch and sat back chilling, all propped up, and we heard a single applause after each song, man. So it definitely trickles down. It definitely trickles down, and I would say that we are definitely probably the great grandchildren of what's happening. But that shows you the legacy of Minnesota and what they do, man. When they see talent and they see people who can carry the torch, they give it to you, and they trust you with it, and that's a big responsibility too. So the weight is heavy on us, and the expectations are high, and we have to deliver, and we have to come through in all kind of different situations and settings and scenarios, including this pandemic right now.
What's it like to play for the audience of the greatest musician of all time?
What is it like?
Yeah, to play for Prince.
To play for Prince, it was scary playing for Prince. I was very nervous, honestly, because he's so mysterious. We played and it was dark in there. We were in Paisley Park, and it looks like a club, and the lights come on. I'm like, oh man, we finna meet and talk to Prince. Guess what? Prince, he poofed away, man. He just disappeared. It was crazy. He just disappeared, but he had notes for us that he sent through his people. And he was like, yo, tell them this, tell them that, do this, do that. And it changed our lives, man, and it helped us grow a lot, more than anything. And so we were very nervous and scared, but at the end of the day, people can say what they want about Prince, but man, Prince was trying to help us. He was trying to make us the best that we could be, and he was giving us pointers and tips of things that's going to help us have long careers in the business and not, just moments. And then that's what I realized now, man. He prepared people for careers. He spoke into people's lives, and he kind of could see into the future and what was going to happen next. Even with Stoke and other people. And so even with us, so it's kind of cool how it all happened. Like Jimmy Jam and them working with Stoke now. We were not working with Prince, but definitely had the opportunity to share with him, and so it all is just coming.
And one of your bandmates actually was working with Prince, and Jesse Larson working with artists. Which artist was it?
Judith Hill. Yep. Jesse was out with Judith, and he was at Paisley Park every day. Prince heard us all. He took Jesse, and that was it.
And for those who are thinking, oh, I kind of know the name Jesse Larson. Once again, for the people outside of the Twin Cities. I don't recall which season of The Voice, but he was the finalist.
Top 4.
Yeah. And so the world got to see what we already knew. Because I go back to the days of Boombox.
The original,
Yeah, the
yes,
original
yes.
name of
Before
MPLS.
MPLS,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
We love that name, by the way. We still like
man,
that name.
there was nothing more wonderful than on Wednesday night walking into Bonkers
Man,
and Boombox. Now MPLS was on stage
wow,
and rocking it.
wow.
Yeah, yes, and
Hmm.
you on the keyboards with the doodle bops.
Doodle bops, I like
Yeah.
that. We call it. That's funny.
So right now,
Yeah,
as of midnight,
yeah,
you dropped your own project.
yeah, man, yeah,
Okay,
man.
so tell people about the project.
The project is called Hymns from Grandma's Living Room. It stems from my history of playing music, man. Where it came from, I came from my grandmother's living room, literally. That's where the upright piano was, and that's where we got it in at. And that's where I learned. She would turn that TV off, and she would let me have my time, do what I needed to do. She would sing with me sometimes. Eventually, I got good enough to play hymns with her, and so we would sing hymns. I was big into the church. We were at church all the time, serving people. And so, man, it came out of that. And so I wanted to start my music, my solo music career, like y'all hearing where I come from, and understanding my home, my family, every all of that heritage and that tradition. I don't just, I'm not, people like me, it takes a village. You know what I'm saying? A whole bunch of people to get us successful the way we are. And so I just felt like this was the perfect time for that. And so, yeah, man, released the record today. Today's the first day, man. And it's
So
all hymns.
what can listeners expect from the album? Is it, when you say hymns, is it a gospel project?
Yeah. Well, I'm in the jazz genre, so it's kind
Okay.
of gospel, jazz, classical. I'm like a little bit of all three of those. I'm classically
Okay.
trained. Also, I come from the church, but I also kind of have this improvisatory vibe on me too. And vibe, I like to vibe and play dope grooves. And so, but this is home. This is home, and it's peace, it's serenity, it's bringing. And I'm just telling you what people are telling me. It's nostalgic. It's bringing back memories. It's bringing back those good times, the foundations of your grandma and Sunday dinners and all of the things that we used to grow up with, man. And so I think it's reminding people of simpler times when life wasn't as complex. And so we just scale it back with just the grand piano, man, a Steinway B grand piano. And we recorded at Wild Sound and in North Minneapolis. And so that's just what it is, man. It's home. So the minute you listen to it, you might end up sitting in your living room with your mom or dad or somebody else, and y'all just start singing and reminiscing and being blessed by the music, man. That's what I'm finding right now. A lot of people are really, really digging it in a way that I wasn't even expecting, man. Honestly, I don't think I'm the greatest, honestly. And so for so many people to think opposite of that. Yeah, I'm all right, but no, but so it's been really cool to just
So are you singing on the project as well, or
singing? Not necessarily singing. I'm praying on it. I'm talking on it a little bit. Yeah, I'm not singing on the record.
Okay,
There's actually no singing. It's only
okay.
piano. It's piano only. There's some talking at the beginning of the first song and at the end and during the last song called Altar Call. But outside of that, it's all piano, man. So it really gives you a chance to just kind of reflect. Somebody said they were looking out the window this morning and watching the sunrise. That's kind of when you want to listen to my music. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of feel. You're not gonna be bopping and stuff. It's gonna make you think. It's gonna make you reflect. Make you worship. Might make you feel grateful. Might bring tears to your eyes. A lot of people are crying when they hear this stuff. Okay. And I would just say I'm very genuine. You know what I mean? Like I just mean what I'm trying to play and in my heart, and I'm just trying to put it out there, man, and just let people know that this is how I feel. Like life is hard, but God is still beautiful, and we can still make it. And you're gonna hear that through these keys somehow. You're gonna feel God. You're gonna experience something that's higher than yourself that can get you some help and relief in these times. So, man, that's really what I'm about. It's just soulful, passionate, crazy faces all the time. I'm whimsical. Whimsical means like just kind of goofy and silly. So you hear that in my playing too. Some humor and lightness. But yeah, man, so that's what I would say the record is. But more than anything, I find that it's just being a blessing to people right now. People need something different. They need an outlet and some songs that are different. And hymns are older and people aren't necessarily redoing them. And so we're not getting new versions or things, but they're great. They're written beautifully. They're masterpieces, And so I'm just putting my extra touches on it and my extra seasonings. And so far, man, it's working. I've gotten so many messages today from so many artists and musicians.
Where can people find the project?
Billingsleymusic.com. Go to the website, billingsleymusic.com, BILLINGSLEY, music.com. Everything you need is there. Sign up for the email list. You can buy sheet music. You can buy Hymns from Grandma's Living Room t-shirts. The music, of course, is there. Photos, video. We got Paris. A lot more videos are coming. So it's a lot. It's a lot that you can do on there.
And for those who are wondering, the Paris, we're speaking of Paris Bennett, former American Idol top 5 contestant, I believe, top 5, and of the lineage of Sounds of Blackness.
Yes, sir. And there's Jamesia Bennett and that whole line. So she's been gracious enough to lend her talents. I have other people from all over the country that we're calling in to do, because the piano is a wonderful canvas, but it could use other things over it. And so they're putting their own interpretations on it. And it's going to be fun to see people from all over the world singing hymns in their own way and in their own style. So Paris was the first one to kick it off for us, but we got a lot more coming. Nice. And so, yeah, man, just trying to give people some content, something different. And something that's hopefully going to bring them some hope and get their mind off their problems and focused on God, who is bigger than their problems and who knows answers that we don't, so just trying to get the focus and the connection right.
Got you. Talking with David Billingsley, he just released his new project. It's Hymns from My Grandmother's Living Room.
Yep, Hymns from Grandma's Living Room. Yep.
Yeah, and David is the tour keyboard player for Stokley Williams and the keyboard player for the Twin Cities, pretty much, I can say it with confidence, Twin Cities #1 R&B, funk, hip hop party band, MPLS. And I can absolutely say that with confidence. Yeah, so we've had about 6 weeks, month and a half since everything's been shut down. What is it you miss most about the stage?
I miss the people, the camaraderie. I miss all being together. I miss the simple things, going out to eat with my friends or hanging out or holding hands, hugging. I miss all of that, man. And on the road, I just miss giving that energy to the people, and that exchange that relieves us. It's like, wow, we built all this stuff and we were able to let that out and the people really receive it. And so now we have to find different ways. So that's what I miss more than anything, man, is the people. I just miss being together. I miss you, Harry. Like, I miss for real. I miss you. I miss the community. I miss the Twin Cities. I miss seeing everybody. Like, we got a good thing. And it makes you realize how blessed you were. Like, dang, we had it good. Like, that's almost like I'm watching like movies and stuff from back in the day. Like, people was together. I'm like, I don't know if that'll ever happen again, but that was nice. And so we gotta count our blessings, man, and realize that we're really blessed, man. Yeah. And so I just miss y'all. I miss y'all. I miss the events. I miss all of that stuff, man. I miss just all of it. So yeah.
I think the last time we were able to connect, you guys had a show. I think it was earlier this year. It might have been late last year, but I really think it was earlier this year at Bunkers on a Saturday night. Yeah. And it was rocking.
Man, packed and 300, 400 people. I think it was like 455 that night. Yeah, so it's just that those days might be gone. Hopefully they come back, but we miss it, man.
I'm not gonna say that they're gone. I'm hopeful that they're on pause.
Amen. Let's say that. Let's say that.
We're having a conversation about music, and sometimes you gotta hit the pause button. So right now we're hitting the pause button. Eventually we gotta let the music play again.
Hey, we have to. We coming back, man. We coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of being on the road, where's the one place where you like, we rocked it, we ripped it? Where is that one spot where it's like?
We were on a boat. We did a cruise, a 10-day cruise. Bruce was on there, Teddy Riley, everybody, Babyface.
Was Teddy sound a little better?
Man, his sound was amazing. He's amazing on the stage. You know, when it comes to the technology piece, y'all, you know, anybody over 50, y'all struggle a little. They be struggling with the little Facebook and stuff a little bit. They be tinkering around. But when it comes to that stage, man, ain't nothing unfamiliar about that with him. And so, man, he gave a great show. But yeah, that was it, man. You know, playing there. You know, having Richard Smallwood's band and all these people I've looked up to my whole life, you know, come up to us and like, yo, y'all were killing. We brought it, man. We absolutely tried to destroy that boat in the best way possible. But you know, that was one of my highest moments for sure. And then just playing some of those arenas, man, because it's so big and it's such a different experience. And you know, playing for 5,000, 10,000 people, that's a 20 or 30,000 in Aruba out there on the beach. You know, we play some beautiful venues, playing literally on water, on boat, you know, rivers, and right next to us while we play, you know, big state fairs and carousels and rides. And so, man, we've seen a little bit of everything, man. It's been a blessing, and I miss that.
Yeah. What's your favorite song to play? Like
She, the number one. Yeah, She, of course. This was hot. This was dope. Stoke put his heart and soul into it, and it's a fun song, man. It's dope. I love playing that song. Another song that I love to play of Stokes, let's see. Man, it's a bunch of them. What else do I love to play from Stoke? Probably Organic. I like Organic. I like the ballads.
Oh, yeah.
But we got some new stuff on the Sankofa record. I can't even tell you about yet, but that's the stuff right there.
Oh, people are looking for that, and once again, as you mentioned earlier, that's kind of a reunion of sorts with Jam and Lewis.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, man. And so that's why Stokes so excited about me doing my stuff. He's like, man, this is perfect. Like, you doing your thing, we're all doing our things, and man, once this lifts, we're gonna be stronger. We're gonna be more united. We're gonna have a bigger fan base and more people tuned in, and it's going to be great, you know, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. That's how we feel, man. So, you know, we're just being optimistic about it all and keeping our heads up.
All right. I appreciate you taking time to sit down with me and sit down with us at Insight News. Once again, tell people where they can find your new project.
BillingsleyMusic.com. Hit it up, BillingsleyMusic.com. Also, oh, you know what? I found it. I said, hey, Siri, play David Billingsley. Just tell Siri to play me. She got you. Siri got you on day one. I couldn't believe it. I ain't checked Alexa yet. I got to check Alexa next. But yeah, so you can do that. If you don't feel like, you know, just tell Siri or go to BillingsleyMusic.com, hit up iTunes. I'm about to put up a new Google Play link. You can do that. And just support Black business, independent. This is just me. This is a soul LLC situation, and I'm just trying to find a new way to survive as an artist and musician. But then not only survive, but also give back. I recorded these songs back in June, so this stuff is a little old now. This has been on my heart for a long time, so it's just the perfect timing now to let it out and bless some folks. So that's where we're at, man. Harry, thank you so much for this time. Doing this, you know, the way you do. You always write articles for us. You got us on the front page. It'd be popping, banging, and people know about MPLS. They know about David Billingsley, Stokley, all of us. They know about the Minneapolis sound. They know about the Minnesota traditions and heritage because of you and your team and what y'all do, man. So like I said, I miss y'all, but I'm very, very thankful for what you're doing, man, and just keep it up, even in this pandemic.
That's why Insight News has been a pillar of the community for going on 46 years. It's what we're supposed to do. So, Brother Billingsley, thank you. Blessings to you. Stay safe. And we are excited for the new project, and we look forward to connecting soon.
Cool, man. I'll see y'all later. Peace. Y'all have a great, great day. Be blessed. Go to Billingsley Music and check it out. Share.
All right.
Cool, man. Blessings.
Blessings.
All right.